So it is, again, don't shave December. So keep growing those beards. All right. Now, we learned yesterday, which we may have already known, is that order matters and everything is matching up. So when it says angle J, if the first letter over here is J, then the first letter over here is going to match up with that. So it should be angle what? Angle G. Angle I, okay, the last letter is going to match up with the last letter, so it's angle L. Angle L. Now, KL, the last two letters, is going to match up with the last two letters. What's it going to be? Hi. What do I need to put on top? Segment, okay? The notation has to match, has to be the exact same, right? Right. Check answers. What about IG? Catch me on that. Oh. So IG matches with LJ. How many of y'all are on that IG? Back in my day, in middle school, everyone used LJ. Real quick. So Instagram, obviously, right? Before that was what? What was cool before Instagram? Facebook. And then before that was MySpace. But before MySpace was LiveJournal. It's exactly what it sounds like. Like a journal you usually keep to yourself, but social media is basically a public journal, LiveJournal. Makes sense, right? And before that was Friendster. That was like the OGest of OG social media. All right. Man, I got it all. Got these burner accounts left and right, you know. Got these troll accounts left and right, you know. I troll my own videos, right? Find me in the comment section of this video, making fun of myself. Well, anyways, HIG. So HIG matches with what? KLJ. All right, so since it has a triangle, I'm going to write triangle KLJ. Except spell it right. And then LKJ matches with what? Okay, LKJ, IHG. Triangle, IHG. So again, this is stuff you did on yesterday's assignment, which you need to make sure you've turned in as soon as you can. All right. Today we're doing triangle congruence. So while I pass this out, you know that we're not going to have headphones in while we're learning something brand new, so you can start doing that so I don't have to tell you more than once. Again, the sooner we get done, the sooner you can have headphones back in your ears, so it kind of defeats the purpose, putting them in right now. You delay putting them back in. So let's go to this. All right. So today we're learning about triangle congruence theorems. Do this. So these are theorems that are going to teach us, or they're going to prove whether two triangles are congruent, right? So we have SSS, SAS, AAS, ASA, and then HL, right? So first one's at the bottom here. This is kind of like the warm-up So we should do this real quick. Let's do it. What does angle O correspond with? What is O congruent to? Okay, it is congruent to P. It's been rotated, okay? So O corresponds with P, and it's congruent. Someone else. What about angle N? What's that congruent to? Someone else. Thank you. YR. I'm asking you N. We're going in alphabetical order here. So B, letter N. Okay, angle R is not right. Okay, N has one arc, Q has one arc, so angle Q. Now it's angle M, which is what? Congruent to what? Angle R. All right, now, side MO is corresponding and congruent to what? RP. Now, last class someone said PR. Okay, kinda, but order matters. RP, okay? ON is corresponding and congruent to what? PQ. And then MN, RQ. Now at the bottom, we're going to make a statement about congruence. Okay? So triangle NOM is congruent to what? You have a pencil? Can you get one? Please? Please. All right, NOM matches what? QPR. So triangle QPR. Now that's review, kind of like the warm-up. By now you should be able to do that on your own. Match things up, tell me what's congruent. Okay, now we got brand new stuff, so flip it over to the next page. What are you doing? Yes. Okay. Here's the first postulate we're learning today. Okay, we're going to have a total of 5. So, first one is SSS. Okay, which means side, side, side. Okay, this says if 3 sides of one triangle are congruent to the 3 sides of the other, write that down, 3 sides of the other triangle, then the triangles are congruent. So, real quick, y'all know congruent triangles have 3 congruent sides and 3 congruent angles. That's 6 things that are congruent. But I'm telling you, you only need to know 3 things in a certain order to know that the whole triangle is congruent. So if you know that you have 1 pair of congruent sides, a 2nd pair of congruent sides, and a 3rd pair of congruent sides, that means they are totally congruent. That means even the angles are congruent. Okay? Even if you have numbers, 3 and 3, that's the same. 4 and 4, that's the same. 5 and 5, that's the same. So does everyone see that I'm marking these with tick marks to show that it's side, side, side? So that's the SSS postulate. Okay, so again, we're talking about 2 triangles. If all 3 sides are the same, we call it side, side, side. So ABC is congruent to what? ABC, FGH, right? Over here, POE corresponds with, flipped over, what? Yes, so TRY. And that's just some beautiful poetry. Get it? Poetry? All right, well, anyways. Now, oops. Here we go. Now, all these theorems we want to prove. Okay, so there's this website that's going to help us prove these things. Let me show you. Google, I wish. So, and it's going to sound like HEB in here, I understand. But, so, we just talked about SSS, side, side, side. We're going to prove that side, side, side always works. Here's how. I'm going to show you. So, if I'm given 3 sides, obviously they make a triangle. The question is, do they always make the same triangle? So, first of all, I'm going to take A, B, and C here, and I'm going to make a triangle out of them. So, A goes on A. Oops. B goes on B. And then C goes on C. So, ABC makes a triangle, yeah? Now, the question, these are the same 3 sides. Do you think it's always going to make the exact same triangle? If it is, then SSS works. Let's find out. So, L on L. J on J. Okay, so the question is, are these the exact same? So I'm going to try to line them up. Maybe needs a little bit of a rotation. Maybe flip it around. Just a little. All right, so. Correct. Okay, so those two are the same exact triangle. So does SSS work? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so SSS is legitness. Now, I want you to make a little note right here. So when you're doing problems, you're going to see stuff like this, and you're going to have to tell me, what is it? Okay? Now, make a little note right here. Put a little star. Label touching sides. Here's what I mean. If two sides are touching, obviously they're the same on each side. Does that make sense? Like if they're touching, they're sharing that side, so it's obviously the same no matter which way you go. Okay? So, here's what I mean. This triangle right here, I got one side that's the same. I got two sides that are the same. And right where they touch, I'm going to put 3. Because they're touching. They have to be the same on both sides. So, is that side, side, side? What do you think? Yes, because I see 1, 2, and 3 tick marks on both triangles. So SSS, yes. Okay. The one to the right of it, is that one touching? Yes, so anytime they're touching, I need to put tick marks on there, like I just said, right? So over here, I'm going to put 2 tick marks because I already have 1, and I'm going to put 2 right here. Now, hit the brakes real quick. Resist the temptation to label every single thing. You don't know PQ and RS are the same. We don't know that. They look like it, but we don't know that. So here's the deal. Is that one SSS right now? No. It's just side, side, nothing. Okay? So this one is not SSS. Now, I know last period someone was like, it looks the same. I want to label it. Again, only label what you know. So far, the only thing I told you, you know, is if they're touching, label it. Okay? So far, so good? It's hard to do notes when we're asleep, right? So we go. So we go. Now, second one is what y'all give me a lot. SAS. All right? So, but side, angle, side. Okay? By the way, I got fun songs to help you remember these that are going to get embedded in your brain. You'll never forget this lesson for the rest of your life. It'll be a fun time. Miss Merrill loves it. Wait. All right, wait. So, if two sides and and the included angle. So, included means, what does it mean to be included? Inside, that's good. Think about it like a hug, okay? Like a hug is like your arms, which are two sides. That makes an angle that's included. It's in between. And when you get a hug, you feel included. Oh. Well, anyways, included just means between two things. So, this is what it means. If you got two sides and the angle between it, on both triangles, included angle, then those two triangles are completely congruent. So check it out on this picture right here. Does everyone see I got one tick mark? Then I have an arc, which means an angle. Then I have a second tick mark. So if you go along the edge, it's side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. Even if there's numbers. 3 and 3 is a side. 60 and 60 is an angle. 9 and 9 is a side. Side, angle, side. You just go along the perimeter, along the edge to see that. So, ABC is congruent to what? There we go. So ABC is congruent to FGH. That's right. Now over here, MEL is corresponding and congruent to what? Not DOI. It kind of has been rotated. So M goes with O. So O, D, Y. So again, it's been rotated. Like a beautiful melody. Now, let's see if side, angle, side works for realsies. So side, angle, side. All right, so back to HEB here. So, side angle side makes a triangle. Now, does the same side angle side make the exact same triangle every single time? Let's find out, all right? So, now, is that the same triangle? Well, let's find out. Yeah, I just flipped it over. So, that's a yes, sir. So, side angle side always works. So, that's why I can use it as a theorem, SAS. So, real quick, so far we learned SSS and SAS. Now, what do I need to label right here because they're touching? Tick marks. So, here's one tick mark. Here's a 90. And then we got another tick mark because they're touching. We always label the touching ones, right? Okay, so is the first one SAS? What do you think? The 90's on both sides because it makes a straight line, right? Side, angle, side. Yeah, SAS. Yes. Now, here's another thing. Everybody, look right here. I told you you need to label sides that are touching. Now I'm going to tell you something you need to label for angles, right? So check it out. Here's what you're going to label. Label vertical angles. Do y'all remember what vertical angles are from Unit 1? That's honest. But let's try to remember. If I have an intersection, vertical angles are across from each other. Are they the same or no? They're exactly the same. They're congruent. So anytime you see an X, does everyone see the X right here? Okay. If you see an X, you need to label arc, arc every single time. Okay? Because you should know for sure vertical angles are congruent. Okay? Now, is this side angle side? So I got one tick mark, I got an arc, and this other, there's no other tick mark. It's just side angle nothing. Okay? So this is no, not SAS. Remember, there's only two things I've told you to label so far. Touching sides, vertical angles. Okay? Okay, flip it over. Let's talk about the next two. We talked about SSS, we talked about SAS. ASA, angle side angle. Okay? If two angles and the included side of one triangle are congruent to the two angles and the included side of the other. What does included mean again? Between, yeah, included. All right, so look at this picture right here. I got angle, then I got a side, then I got an angle. ASA, in that order. Angle, then a side, then an angle. Right? Right? Even if there's numbers. I have the right angle first. So angle. And then 4 and 4 is a side. And then 55 is an angle. Angle, side, angle. Okay? ABC is congruent to what? FGH. Now, over here, MON is congruent to what? MON. What? Hey, I don't want you monkeying around over here. I want you to do the notes. MON matches with what? KEY. All right. These notes are making some of y'all bananas. That's a good joke. ASA, let's see if that works. So I got angle, then a side, then an angle. So let's see if it works. line up my angles at H and B, of course. Line up the other angles. Now, will the same angle, side, and angle make the exact same triangle? What do you think? Let's find out. Got naysayers. Correct. It is. Angle, side, angle works. All right? So ASA is legit. Now, is this, first one, is this ASA? Look at it. I see angle. I see angle. Is there a tick mark between it? No. Now, it looks like it. I understand what it looks like. But if it's not labeled, don't assume. So this one is not ASA yet. Now, what do I need to label? Right here, when they're touching. Tick marks. Woo! So what is this? Angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle. ASA. See how that works? Go along the edge and just look at it. Angle, then a side, then an angle. ASA, yes. Okay. All right, you're getting the hang of these notes. What's the next one? AAS. Now, angle, angle, side is when two angles and a non-included side. Non-included side of a triangle are congruent to the corresponding parts of another triangle. Now, this one is a little bit different than the last one, right? Oh, you missed that. Okay, here's the difference. Angle, then an angle, and the side is after it, not between it. So if you look at this one right here, okay, they're slightly different. The side is not labeled between it, it's after it. Angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, then a side. So you go in the order around the edge to get that. Angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. So what is ABC congruent to? Okay, DEF for this theorem. Now let's prove it real quick. Angle, angle, and then a side. Who thinks it's not going to work? This one's weird because I have an angle and then another angle, so I kind of have to line this up. Okay. Will the same exact angle, angle, and side give me the exact same triangle every single time? Ooh, you're way behind, buddy. So, let's see. V and then M is that the same triangle? Flip. What do y'all think? Yeah, it is congruent. So AAS works as well, okay? So down here, is this one right here AAS? Angle, angle, side. Angle, 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 side. Yeah, AAS. Oh, these are touching, so what do I got to label? That tick mark where they touch, right? So, now what is this? So this is what? Angle, side, angle. So do you see how that's a different one, right? So this one is no, not AAS, but it is angle, side, angle. All right. Now, if you zoned out, shame on you. But seriously, zone in. This is where most people start getting interested, if you haven't been yet. Now, we've been talking about three-letter words with the combination of A and S, right? So, inevitably, we're going to get to the next question here. And what about this one? So what is this? Angle. What is this? Side. What is this? We don't need to say it, spell it, or write it because, well, it's a bad word. Okay? So what about side, side, angle, backwards? What about that one? What about that one? Mr. G? Mr. G, can I say that word out loud and write it on my paper and make a bunch of jokes and ha ha ha? Well, you know what? Here's the deal. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. I will let you say and write that word if it works. Who said it doesn't? We don't know. Let's find out. Well, check it out. We got an angle, side, side. So let's see if it makes a triangle. First of all, it should make a triangle. Will it always make the same exact triangle? So everyone is excited because now we get to think about it. We get to use this bad word all the time. So angle, side, side makes a triangle. Now here's the same exact angle, side, and side. Will it for sure make the exact same triangle? So let's find out real quick. All right, so ready? The moment of truth. If I let go of it right here, is it going to be the same triangle? It is. But what if I don't let go of it right there? Wait. What if I? Wait. Oh. Dang! I know. Of course I knew it was going to happen. Doing this for 10 years. All right, well, anyways. Angle side, side gave me a different triangle. Is it a theorem I can trust? Would you trust your life with that? No, I would not. So you know what? Now you can never say that word ever again in your life. Dang. All right. No, don't say it now. Now, here's the deal. For realsies, angle side, side does not work every time, so you can't use that. The only time it works is when you have a what kind of triangle? If it's right, then angle side, side will work. So how do I write that? Well, we have a name for it. Instead of angle side, side, instead of writing that little 3-letter word, okay, we're going to use what's called HL. Okay? Why? And you can write this down here. The perpendicular sides are called legs, and the longest side starts with an H. What's that called? Hypotenuse, yeah. So, the name of this theorem, if the hypotenuse and a leg, hypotenuse and a leg of one right triangle are congruent to the corresponding parts of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. So, ladies and gentlemen, ASS, you cannot spell it or say it or write it. But if it's a right triangle, you can write HL, okay? And again, we don't want to use HL in a bad way either, right? Don't tell your buddy to go to HL. That's bad. All right, well, anyways. No. Now, angle, side, side, but it's a right triangle, HL theorem. So ABC matches with what? ABC is congruent to what? Who said DEF? All right, DFE. Thank you. This one's a trickster. So, real quick, right here, we're going to make a list of the ones you can't use, right? Do not use. Now, instead of saying the ASS word, I'm going to say no booty. Okay? No booty. Hey, don't say it. SSA, forwards or backwards. That's no bueno. You gonna write this down? You stay with me? So, you cannot use the one that's your rear end word. Don't use it. Now, there's one last one we haven't checked. Hey, don't say that. Now, there's one you can't, there's another one we haven't checked yet, and it's AAA. AAA. Okay? Hey. So real quick, let's try AAA. Now, 3 angles make a triangle, okay? As long as they add up to 180, so these do. So, yeah. Now, these three angles make a triangle. If I try hard enough. Hey, if I try to get them at an angle. Why is this not working for me? Should be. All right, there you go. Now, These are the same three angles. Will they make the exact same triangle every single time? No, why not? Well, it doesn't matter. It's as long as it makes something. Well, I could make it smaller. You're right. Like super small? Is that the same exact triangle? Yeah. Now, it's not the exact, it's not congruent. It's not the same size, but it is the same shape. Okay, so that's called similar. We'll get to that later. But these are not congruent triangles, okay? So now I can't use AAA. So let's put that on our list of no-nos. No AAA. Now, y'all have heard of AA? Yeah, AA meetings, okay? Some people have to go because they might have a dependence on alcohol, okay? So that's one way we can remember. AAA reminds me of AA, and that's another thing you can't do on campus. No booze. So, two things you can't use. No booty word and no booze. The AA word, all right? Those two will not work every single time, so we're not going to use them in the future, okay? So, y'all have been mostly good, except for my repeat offenders on headphones. We're going to do some example problems at the bottom here. So, scrolling down here. Now, on the practice, the first thing I want you to do is label what again? What do I label? Wherever they what? Wherever they touch. And what kind of angles do we label that are across from each other? No. Where was it? Was it on the first page? So, I told y'all you need to label two things. Label what? Vertical angles. And I also taught y'all you need to label what? Touching sides. Okay, so let's do that. Down here at the bottom. Do I have any vertical angles? Where do you see them? Which number? Number 1. Let's label that real quick. Okay, do I have any touching sides? Number 2. All right. Oh, and number 3. What else? Number 4. Okay, what else? Oh, those are touching as well. What about, what else? Oh, yeah. What else? Oh, what else? Oh, that's it. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you some time. I want you to try these on your own, and then I'll help you out if you get stuck. So, yeah, we already said the first one. We have angle, then a side, then an angle. So, ASA. Anyone want to help me with number 2? What? Okay. I have a side, then I have an angle, then I have a side. So that would be SAS. Now, today's advisory, so we don't need to pack up right now. We still got. Oh, wait. Is that third period or second period? Third period. My bad. Okay. Well, real quick. 3 and 4 real quick. What is this? Side, angle, side. And then number 4 is angle, angle, side. All right. We'll pick up on that tomorrow.